In the future, I will make more organized videos with charts and backgrounds and adjustments and juxtaposes. But I have these thoughts in my head that I really want to spill out. And one of them is telling the story of how I got my first $100,000 in savings. All right. That first $100,000 in savings is a pinnacle. I believe it was maybe Warren Buffett or Charlie Munger said, do whatever you have to do to get that first 100K, to feel what that's like, to go through that pain, go through that stress. Saving that first 100K is very similar to pulling yourself out of credit card debt. It only you can do it, right? Only you can do it and to get to that point, you have to build consistency and build good habits. So how I got to my first 100K in a little bit of a synopsis, and we'll expand in the future. As you guys know, this channel is an engineering channel, right? A tech channel, an engineering technology channel, I'll say, a personal growth, personal development channel, and a finance channel. Those three things have been pillars of my focus on my mind on a daily basis for a very long time now. I'd say over almost 20 years. So, quick synopsis: I graduated from Penn State in Penn State University in Pennsylvania. Go Nittany Lions, right? We are. Graduate in December 2015. I get an IT job shortly after, working for 9 months because my plan was to go to the Air Force. I was supposed to leave for training camp or boot camp, whatever it is, in Texas that August of 2016. Things fell through, and I'll go into that story at a later date. But if you're interested, leave a comment, and maybe we'll dig into that story. So that falls through in August. In September, I get my first engineering job locally as a civilian, not in the Air Force, making about 53K a year. That was my first time trying to figure out how to compromise, or I'm blanking on the word, how to kind of fight for a higher salary. That didn't work out. My first job did not work out. But I made 53 grand work, right? I'm making 53 a year, and I ended up cutting expenses on both ends. My rent was very cheap. I was paying $300 a month, right? I bought a car cash. So I didn't have a car payment. I bought a Mazda 3. It was like $66,000, right? I said I bought a car cash. My rent was really low. And I ended up working alongside a senior engineer. So I didn't really have to drive my own car. I would drive him around to job sites, right? So my expenses on my vehicle, even for gas, were low. I kept doing that, kept trying to not go out to eat, and saved. I think I said, and my first year, I also didn't want to have time to spend. So I also became a bartender / server at Red Robin, my local Red Robin. I would work 40, 50, 60 hours as an engineer, and also work 2, 3, 4 nights a week as a bartender. That first year, I was able to save up $22,000. At the closing of that first year, right, so we're 2017, about September, August, I get an offer from a very large company, and I move up and I work at a company that's now paying me up in New York, paying me $72,000 a year. I'm very proud of that, very happy for that. Making more money, but my expenses increase, right? Because now I have to move from an hour from my hometown to 3 hours from my hometown. The rent's a little higher, but I do still room with other guys. My rent's about $450, $500 a month. Get paid a little more a month, but I lose that second income of bartending, right? What do? I start Uber driving. That car that was not used that whole first year because I had a company car now is being used to make me money. So I'm making more money and making money off my vehicle now. Running it to the ground, but I paid it off. So that year, I think I was able to save about similar. I had 50 grand after the end of that year. So year 1, 22 grand. Year 2, 28 grand. I stay up in that area for a few years, getting gradual pay increases from 72 to 79 to 85, right? Still kind of always working a second hustle, right? Either working a lot of overtime at my main job, Uber driving. And then year 3, I believe it was year 3, I get into a side hustle because I couldn't drive my car all the time. It was nice though because it's not too far from the Saratoga horse races, and those people have money up there, man. I'm driving through horse races, driving people around. They're tipping me $50, tipping me $100. So after that second year up there, I'm probably sitting at around 70, 75K. 75K saved, right? Feeling good. Then I start refing because I realized that money I'm making, I literally stop in December. I'm like, I'm done Uber driving. I'm not Uber driving at all in January. Because honestly, I'm just refereeing. I don't want to pay taxes anymore. Well, as many taxes as an Uber driver has to pay. So that January of 2018, I ref that entire year, make similar amount of money that year, but getting paid cash, right? Checks, feeling a lot better about that income. I'm trying to think because I don't think I had 100 grand until I came back home, which is kind of sad. I could have said that shit a lot quicker. But either what I'm saying is the preference is I'm always having a second income. That second income is paying for all my expenses. My main income is stuffed into my savings account. That's when I start learning about investments. I mean, I've been doing my 401k for years. So stay busy. I would say I advise stay busy because that's really what I didn't have time to spend all the time, right? I was had to wake up early all the time to make money. I would be up late driving. I'd be refereeing all over all weekends when people are hungover. I can't be hungover. I got a 9 a.m. game. Understand? After that, I come home and I really double down because then I'm like, I have a skill. After 4 years as an engineer, I have a skill. I can now help a company right away. You don't have to teach me all the time. I'm able to help very quickly, which means I need less chaperoning, less babysitting, right? So now instead of me having to watch you do your job for 20 hours so I can then do the same thing for 20 hours, I can just do my thing for 20 hours, get a second job, and now I'm double timing, right? This is when I have to think. I start buying a few properties. I have 2 right now, but that's how I save my first 100K. Saving, staying busy, trying to acquire skills. And if I had to give myself more advice, I would say network more. Network more. That's what we're trying to do in our 30s. 20s was our head down, work, and earn. 30s has to be networking and 20s was also investments, but saving more. 30s has to be more investments. You know, investments, bigger bets. That's it, man. Now we're here. So looking forward. That first 100K is done. We're at 200. We're at way more than that now, but time to invest. That passive income's really the goal. Now instead of 100K saved, slaving, it's 5K. Let's say 7K gross. You know, 4K net. That's the goal. I make it 4K net. That's good money. I'm making $50 grand a year passive. Right? That's lit. That's what we on. Let's go.